if the genie could come out from one of these lamps, what detail would you be able to take that magnifying glass and create? So that's kind of where we're headed. That's what I'd ask you to do. And so I'd like to have you talk about, again, what do you want? And what would our 15 minutes or so, what could we create so that you'd walk away feeling really happy that we spent this time?
So I am a software trainer in a law firm, and I have to learn 6 to 10 new technologies in a year. And I have easily a couple of hundred people through my classroom every year who are either new to the firm or need to learn something new about an app or need to learn a new application.
Wow. Cool job.
It can be fun.
Yeah.
When I deliver a training, people want to be in my trainings. I'm going to go ahead and say when people have to choose from amongst the trainers in my firm, and I sort of get the same reaction in the professional networking organizations I'm part of, I'm seen as a good, articulate trainer who makes technology really accessible to people.
Wow. And if today, in our 15 minutes, what would you want in this interaction that would just be great?
So I would like a blueprint for what it would look like, but also how to get there, that if I've got an hour training, I could read that 2 or 3 times, and then I could deliver it.
Okay. So you've got a vision of how you could be a learner, of how you could learn something. And if in our time today, you could have that vision so clear that it actually felt doable. Because at this point, I think the reason you volunteered is because you don't feel like it's likely that you're going to get there. Is that accurate?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So if we got done and then all of a sudden you felt like, wow, it's likely that I can get there. I see it so clearly now. It's just clear, and I'm more optimistic. Would that be a good result?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Okay. And then also I heard you say that, of course, if you came up with some ways to get there, that'd be fun too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what we'll focus on is what it looks like once you're there. And I actually think that that will increase the likelihood that you'll get there.
Great.
Is that good?
Mm.
So tell me, I know you told me about your job, and I realize I interrupted you because I really want to know more now, not about how it is, but how you want it. So what would be ideal in terms of how fast you learn it?
I'd like to think that 3 times as long as I'm going to be standing up there delivering should at least be good enough to get me on my feet the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like, when I'm finished reading through an outline and working through the exercises the first time, that's more imprinted on my brain than it is now.
Mm-hmm.
That's the core of it.
Okay.
I go through stuff so many times, and I don't retain it.
Right, right. So what you'd like to be able to do is go through it once and retain it, and then you'd like to be able to spend 3 times or less learning it as you do presenting it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Is that what you said?
Right.
That's what you said?
Yeah.
Let's just say that the genie came along and gave you what you wanted, and now it's 3 months from now. And I want you to describe how you're preparing for the training, because now you got what you want. You've got 3 hours or less, and you've got read through once and remember most of it, and now it's 3 months from now, and you've got those 2 things, but what else do you have?
I have a ton of confidence to stand up there, so that's going to sort of buoy me along. I typically, when I get up to deliver training and I don't feel like I've had enough time, I realize I know more than I thought I knew,
Okay.
and I'm able to answer questions that I didn't think I'd be able to.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so now it's 3 months from now, and I just want to see if you could actually talk in the future. And so now you've got tons of confidence. You answer questions clearly. Answers come that you didn't even expect. You prepare in 3 times or less than you have to present, and you go through it once and you remember a whole lot of it. What else is true now that you're so confident and clear and you got such good abilities?
I need help.
Yeah, that's all right. Just look, just imagine. You got what you wanted. What do you got? You already gave me a lot, so that's good.
I now have the ability under my belt to deliver a class, maybe after having read it just once, but let's say I have 3 times the amount of time for the duration for the class. I read it that long. I'm confident to get up and do it. I'm not stressed out that I'm going to fail at doing it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to do it
Yeah.
because people come into a computer class desperate to know that app or they wouldn't be there.
Right. And they often aren't excited, so you're excited. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is good. So you're describing as if it was occurring and already occurred what you want. Get the idea?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, I'm recommending you just do it again, add a little more detail to it, and describe it with a little bit of happiness. Because you're still describing it sort of like with a skepticism, or, it's just as a way to imagine that you're already there.
Right.
So it's 3 months from now, you're already there. Mm-hmm. Tell me how you are.
I sort of can't wait to get into work in the morning. I've got a new app that I learned so quickly. I learned it in half a day. I learned it by lunch yesterday. I'm going to be delivering that this afternoon. And of course, there's an avalanche of new ones coming. But I know that tomorrow morning, between getting there and lunch, I'll be able to knock through the next one, that whole 3-to-1 ratio in play, and get through as much of that one and retain and nail down as much of that one as possible. So the brand new one, I'm doing it today, and I'm starting the next one tomorrow.
Wow.
So it's really exciting. The day goes by fast.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty good. You look close to happy with yourself. Yeah, that's good. We're just rehearsing, and every time you rehearse describing that future that you want, I claim that you feel it more fully, particularly if you describe it in the way you just did, and have you do it again, and then you can put a little more detail to it each time. Because see, this time when you talked about it, you added some more detail. It was about how, so try it again.
Okay.
And put as much detail to this new way you're learning stuff. Because now you're a new guy, future showed up, genie arrived, poof, and you got to suspend your belief here for a minute, but you'll be surprised how you may not get there in 3 months. So as a matter of fact, let's go 5 months out. Mm-hmm. Now it's 5 months out. This is really working. Mm-hmm. So tell me about it. How is it?
Well, now, all the above. I can't wait to get to work in the morning. I start working on what I need to right away, first thing as opposed to avoiding it. It's not stressful anymore because I learn things so quickly. I now, when I walk down the halls, I say to people, oh, we're rolling out Case Map this week. Do you use that? Could you use that? Why don't you come in and take that? Oh, I'm a partner. I don't really need it. Just come in and listen to the first 20 minutes. Because just you knowing how other people use it for you might be useful. So then I market it more. I get more of a good snowball effect of really wanting people into my training sessions, being confident about advertising them, showing my value to the company.
Yeah, yeah, great. See, you came up with another real big spin on it by describing it this way, which is now you're actually out there recruiting people to come to your trainings, and you're doing it with confidence and joy, and it doesn't show up, your work doesn't show up like a drudge, doesn't show up like something hard, it shows up joyful. You're wanting to get to work. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
I keep thinking about the how.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. We'll get to that later today or tomorrow.
Okay.
The problem with the how is it takes away your ability to feel the what.
Excitement about the...
Fear of the how, skepticism about the how, dampers down the excitement of the what.
Accomplishment?
Yeah.
Result?
Yeah.
And
because you can't,
goal.
because you're kind of skeptical. You say, well, I may never get there, I better not be excited about it. Mm-hmm. But I claim until you can really get excited about it, it's very hard to get there. Mm-hmm. Because you're operating on top of this skepticism and on top of vague detail. Because the putting yourself in the future and describing it with excitement and feeling allows you to put detail to it. And the more detail, the more likely it is you can manifest it. So that's the idea. But let me have you try again. I got it, that how's running, but we'll get there. But for now, you're a year away from now. It's now 2011, and it's April. And your work is just blossoming. You're stunned at how easy and effortless it is. Tell me about it in real time.
When that happens, and
Now that it's happened.
now that it's happened,
Yeah, how is it now that it's happened? See? Look at that. You just changed. Your whole face got light instead of tense. And I claim then your whole body lines up with that. So tell me, now that it's happened, what's it like?
it's amazing because it's actually enabled me to leave my current company and start doing this on a consulting basis. When I'm doing it on a consulting basis and I'm not working 9 to 5 at that company.
I'm no longer working 9 to 5 at that company. I'm now a consultant.
Right. I have those 5 other goals I mentioned.
Yeah.
Those are all going to become more possible because I could work 6 weeks in training or 6 months in training and then 6 weeks or 6 months not. Yeah. And I could pursue other
Okay,
things.
let me just help you.
Yeah.
You're still being in the past present tense.
Okay.
You're saying I could, I might, but I'm recommending you talk as if it's April 2011.
Right.
Tell me how it is.
In April
for
2000
right now.
In
for
April
you.
2011, right now,
Yeah.
life's really good and I can't wait to get up in the morning. Because whether it's a week where I am doing technology consulting or a week where I'm doing something else, I've manifested that all. I've made that all happen. And I know that because of my technology skills, I can just pendulum back and forth.
Cool.
It's exciting.
And how is it when you learn something now?
I can't believe it was ever a problem. It now seems so small. It's easy. Because learning fast is necessary and true in kind of all of my goals.
And how fast do you learn now in April 2011?
Faster than I ever thought I could.
Give me some detail. How fast?
Well, now I'm looking at something once, and whereas the goal was originally look at it once and then be able to just read it to you, now I'm looking at it once and I can get rid of the outline.
Wow. So you almost have like a darn near photographic memory. You can't maybe read each word, but once you read it, it's in there and you can send it back. Wow, cool.
Yeah.
Good job. Huh? What else about now learning in April 2011?
That we already know all these things, and so as I learn new things, it's not like I'm learning that whole 30 pages. I'm just taking this tiny bit that's new, this variation on learning a new software package.
Right.
All software is ever doing is letters, numbers, or pictures arranged. That's all it's ever doing. So to learn a new software package, it's like getting into a new rental car.
Yeah.
I don't have to learn to drive again. Just tweaking those few details that make it specific to where the radio is or where the file menu is.
So you're, in terms of learning stuff and teaching it, you're a hotshot.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Good. Good. How does it feel to be such a hotshot?
It's a relief.
Yeah, because there's no stress, right?
Right.
It's easy. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a look at me feeling, it's a just this is pleasurable feeling.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's not like some pride, big ego walking around. It's just like the joy of being able to learn something that quickly and that effortlessly, and then being able to teach it so well and teach it with joy and teach it with excitement so that your students are excited and recruit other people. You're actually going out and, I mean, you used to recruit people within the company. Now you're recruiting companies because you're your own consultant. And all that learning stuff is just so easy. It's just a part of your everyday knowledge. And you do it quickly and with great memory. Is that true about you?
Yes.
Good. All right. So that's the idea. And we spent about 15 minutes clarifying, and now what I recommend is you just hold that future and be able to feel it and see it and If there's any taste to it, taste it, you know, and hear it, and then we'll look at ways to manifest it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that work for you?
Yeah, it's great.
Do you have some renewed confidence?
Definitely. It's a completely different way of looking at it. It's a different perspective of looking at it.
Yeah. Great. Good job.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah.